What's going on, everybody? We are back from the Portnoy Gallery for the Wham! Art, Wine, Art, and Music event. Always a fun time, and it's the first of 2025. And you are all right now getting a special look of where
What
the.
are you doing in Neil's
I
chair?
figured, Mary, it was appropriate to give our audience a look of where the magic actually happens. And what better way to pretend I actually have artistic talent than to sit in the chair of someone who has artistic talent?
Okay, I agree with that.
Uh huh.
I agree with that. However,
I haven't earned it.
you are sitting in the coveted chair of Neil Portnoy.
Ooh.
This is where the magic happens. And I don't know if you have an understanding of all of what's in front of you.
I'm starting to pick it up a little
Are
bit.
you?
A
Are you?
little
Because
bit.
I can't heads or tails. So as Neil explained at
Yes.
the beginning of this evening,
Mm-hmm.
he does not use any paint whatsoever
At all.
So all that you are seeing right here is everything he has used to create all these pictures, all of these paintings, all of these artwork pieces from felt tip pens.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't know. Can you figure out what this organizational
I'll tell you this, when we talked to Neil at the top of the show, he told me after working with too many of these, you start maybe having some hallucinations. For one, I start to realize why. Second, though,
Yeah.
I realize why all this art looks as incredible as it
Isn't
does.
it
And Mary,
incredible?
even walking around before we came on air while we were getting refreshments, food, and snacks, I overheard people walking through the wings
Yes.
talking about he actually does this with a magic marker, with the tip pens. And it's all like no one can comprehend it because if you didn't have context, you never would have guessed.
Absolutely. And a gentleman walked up to me and just said, "How does he do this?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Have you gone to his studio? Have you seen the felt tip? I don't even know what to call this. I mean,
Right.
it's I couldn't make heads or tails anyway." So we came back here, and he was absolutely amazed that everything that you see in the gallery is done right here at this table. And I don't know if you know this, but maybe a few weeks ago, he was actually thinking about selling or giving away this desk, and a bunch
This
and
is
a
perfect.
bunch of us, we all
Yes.
rallied around this desk and said, "Don't you dare give this desk away."
I figured
This
maybe if I
is the
sat here for
desk
30
of
seconds,
dreams.
the artistic,
do-
the
all right, Neil is going
shine
to
will rub
do-
off.
Neil
The
is
artistic
going to-
talent will, absorb into me. But I guess now we actually have a true artist himself. Absolutely.
We do, and so
Absolutely.
Neil is
We're gonna
going
get the
to
full
show
access.
exactly
Mary first. Hang
what
on.
he does, how he does it, in his most surreal way.
Unreal.
Here you go, Mary. You did
He is.
Mind
He's
blown.
very talented.
The artist at work.
You know what I call that?
What is that?
Portnoygraphy.
A Portno.
Hang on.
A Portno.
All right, let's rate Abby. I want to get the
Here we
nose
go.
first. 'cause that's the
Okay.
whole piece.
Yes,
All right,
absolutely.
you want me to finish the mustache?
Good,
like
do
you
it.
did, or I'll
Do
fix
it.
I'll
From
fix
one
it.
member of the tribe to the other.
Right,
Let's
there you
go.
Like, it goes
Absolutely.
Like this here, and then this goes down like this.
Oh,
like this.
fabulous.
Hang on.
I'm learning art, and I'm learning how I really look. This is great.
Now, those are sideburns, I think, right?
Yes, they're at least attempting to be.
Are
Attempting
they?
to be.
They are.
It's
They're
a chin. It's a
sidebar.
chin strap. Yeah.
You want me to fix the beard? Or
Just,
or
you
the way
could
did?
you could
Okay,
touch it
never
up. You
mind.
could touch it
I'll
up.
fix it.
All right, perfect.
Hang on. And this comes all the way up here.
The artistic
Why does he
expression
get
is
a face
absolutely
and I do
mind
not?
blowing.
How does that happen?
Well, I use his most outstanding feature and yours.
Yes.
Okay, this is over
Yes.
here.
The artist at work, right here on GoLive Vegas,
Now,
full
that forehead's
access.
a lot higher than the last
It
time.
it grows. It grows. Christmas added a couple inches.
Well, the head's actually fatter. But
Yeah,
Yes.
Guys lie about sizes. It's more than a couple
It's what we
inches.
do.
Right,
It's
right,
what we do.
right, hang on. All right, now this comes up here like this.
There you
We
go.
do too
There
for
you
you.
go.
And
Yes.
this goes like this. and like
You
this.
guys may underestimate.
We
yeah.
do. We underestimate.
We got a
It's
couple
more
right
hopeful
right
than
there.
anything.
We got a microphone over here.
There we
Hang
go.
on.
Absolutely. Broadcasting excellence.
Okay, over here. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, but we'll do it. Okay, we'll do this. Over here.
Neil, let me ask you, as Aaron holds the camera, when
She
you
watch what I'm doing. Though,
Wait,
right?
I don't think you
Oh,
need
know
to.
my hands
I
go-
don't
we're
think
good,
you
we're
need
good,
to.
we're good.
Let me ask you, with someone like Aaron Ellikis, who had the honor of being Portnoy, how long did his take at this very desk?
Well, I gave him my disclaimer when I did it, though. Management not responsible for the way you already look.
So there you go. You gotta,
No, that's very understandable.
you gotta, tweak your expectations here.
Here, you got
Unreal.
cartoon with Mary on the back. There you
Absolutely.
go.
I don't even know if that's a
Oh, with
caricature. That may
Mary
just be
on the
that may just be a
back.
photograph.
Mary on the
And then
back.
there's Mary.
Very nice.
But
very
that's
nice.
what
I appreciate that
well,
very much.
safe to say the artistic talent didn't rub off on me, but it did rub off on this piece of
You know what the
paper.
best part
So
for Mary though is Mary, stand up straight. Can you tell if your shoes are tied? No, I didn't think so. Don't bend over. Okay, we're good.
but how cool is that? When we get to see where the magic is made and we get to see how it's done. This is all how it goes down with these markers in the studio. Here, Neil's going to show us a little bit more.
The Golden Knights.
Yep.
That's about 2 weeks worth, 3 weeks worth of work.
Incredible.
The interesting thing, I'll give you a little background.
Mm-hmm.
We've all heard the name Norman Rockwell.
Yep.
America's greatest illustrator, not artist, not illustrator. Worked with a camera called a Lucy camera. See that big machine behind you there? 1970 model Goodkin Direct C Lucy projector.
How did you get a hold of that, Neil?
You know what? I don't remember. At my age, I forget a lot of things, and I don't remember what I've had it for. What, 60 years?
Have you ever used it personally?
If I use what?
The
I use it every day.
Wow.
What that does is you take a photograph, tape it in upside down on the copy board. It's got two 300-watt projecting lenses with a camera lens. On the other side, Brian, show where it is. It projects the image down onto the surface. So you can enlarge and reduce anything 300%. Wow. Now, somebody said to me one day, well, all you do is tracing it. I said, fine, I'll pencil it up, you finish it. The real ability is the technique after you've got it penciled. For instance, I'm working on a piece.
And this is so awesome because this is the first time, Mary, we've ever actually
Yeah,
gotten to see
I've
the
never
process.
seen
We have
this
seen the
process
final
before.
result. This is actually outstanding right
Here's the
now.
photograph. Right? Penciled up, now the technique starts. Now, what I've always said to people, I really don't want to because it's a surprise wedding gift for her.
There you go.
There's my dog.
Now that
the
is
man of the
exquisite.
hour.
That is exquisite. If you look at the detailing
Yeah, but
that
you know
he's
what's
that
about
you're
Mary?
able to
It's all about
achieve.
the eyes.
It
All
is.
about the
And that's what you
And
told
that-
me before.
It's all
It's
about the
true.
eyes.
And if you looked at the endangered species
Yes.
series that he has done, the eyes do capture
It,
you.
it looks like something
It's-
out of National Geographic,
truly
an
does.
actual photograph.
Absolutely.
100%.
Like the portrait caricatures of Barry.
Yep, Manilow.
The illustration of Barry with all his songs in the background.
And the athletes, you see the same thing. You see the athletes, you almost see the wear and tear on their faces and their forehead and the grooves and the scars they may have. It's incredible.
Well, let me show you the new series.
Yes, please.
Because these have not been printed.
Please.
These are the iconic hotels of Vegas.
Oh, old school.
I call the style Portnoy-ism. It's not surrealism. It's not pointillism. It's not whatever isms. These are the iconic past hotels of Las Vegas.
Wow.
Now, are these pictures that you had taken, or are
They're
these just?
photographs. One of the techniques that a lot of artists use is they'll take a photo, put it in software, give me an artistic filter. You know, whether it's a cutout, whether it's all the filters, watercolor, whatever. But what I'll do is combine the realistic one with that filter. I don't want to copy something that's already out. I want to do my own unique thing. So these are the 11 in the series.
When will these become available, or are they going to be?
available next week? They're in a print now. The resolutions, the scans have been done.
And you look at the old marquees, Don
This
Rickles,
one
Dean
here,
Martin.
Dean Martin. Now, Deanna Martin, Dean's daughter,
Yeah.
does a podcast every Monday at 4 o'clock on YouTube. Denny Pezzin
Oh,
and his
correct.
wife bought a print of this, gave it to Deanna because her father's name is on the marquee.
I remember seeing
and she
that.
held it up during her podcast. And
That is awesome.
promoted me. So
And I
have
love
the
it because you
sands.
have the sands, you have the
Right.
old Aladdin, the Stardust.
What
It's
I
a-
love about it is that it's almost abstract, but yet it has enough detail where you know exactly what it is you're
You know,
looking at.
like this, for
and
instance, you can see
yes,
the filter.
absolutely.
Right? You can see the geometric shapes. Everything I do is shapes. I don't look at things as two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. And here's how I explain it to people. And you might want to put this on camera because this is a classic example of what I'm talking about when everything is shapes. Everything is shapes. Everything
You have
is
said that
shapes.
before. I remember you saying that to me
There's
a
the XL.
very long time
Yeah.
ago.
So I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about with shapes.
Mhm.
I do a lot of pet portraits for people because they want their pets done. But this one here, I'm going to show you shapes. What do you see there?
Looks like a mouth. Or
Right? See the shapes?
yeah.
Yes.
A lot of
It
different
looks like an
shapes.
ear to
Oh,
me.
it does look like the ear. The surrounding
A
looks
lot of
like an
different
ear.
shapes. What
Absolutely.
do you see here?
That's an eye to me. But I see the shapes. I see that. I
Watch what
do
the
It
see
looks
the
like
shape.
Watch what the shapes do. You ready?
looks like something holding something. Maybe no. It's a nose. A bloodhound.
That's
Unreal.
amazing.
Aaron, did you
That's
get that?
amazing.
So
Unreal.
let me go through the rest of the series.
Yes,
here.
please. Desert, the old DI. Yep.
You've got the landmark. Again, the geometric shapes. The old dunes.
And what is so
Thunderbird.
and what
Now-
is so cool about this is that whether you look at the athletes, the entertainers, and now the locations, you're telling the story of old Vegas here in the gallery.
Right.
And because our landscape is constantly changing, I
Mm-hmm.
don't see a time where your context is ever going to run out.
Well,
It's
Do you
evergreen.
it is
Yeah.
evergreen, but do you see like looking forward what your next series may be?
Yeah, I'm going to do the presidents. I'm
Mm.
going to do the Portnoy style caricatures of all the presidents
Really?
in a big 18 by 24, right? Big 18 by 24. The portrait face, but I'm going to cartoon the bodies into their era of what they wore. Similar to the greatest names in history stuff I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. And when are you looking to begin that
I
work?
don't know, when I get through the commission stuff, I got 3 things I got to get done.
And I want to ask you something about the specifics of the setup because Mary, you asked this in terms of how it's actually organized and laid out.
These
Is there?
stories,
And that's what we commented on. When you told me outside before we came on or before
All
we
day
came
long.
inside, Neil,
all day long.
you said dealing with that all day long, you'll start to see and hear some things. I'm starting to realize that. But is there a certain system in terms of how you have it organized that makes
No.
it accessible to you? It's just kind of a crapshoot.
It's not a crapshoot. I mean, I've been doing this 53 years.
Right.
So I know what the pens are. This is my staple, the Chart Pack AD marker. Companies in Leeds, Massachusetts. I don't buy these in art stores. I buy these direct.
Okay.
I buy them direct for about $3.50. They're about $7 a marker. Look at all the markers.
But there's no system here. You just know this by sight. You know this by sitting here at your
Secondhand.
desk for
Yep.
50 plus
I can do it
years.
blindfolded.
Mhm.
You know exactly where to
But
go to get what
there
you
are other
need.
markers. You've got the old design markers with different nibs. The neat thing about the Chart Pack AD marker is they're interchangeable nibs. So if I got to get it into a tight
Okay.
area, I'll put a different nib in.
So you have thin ones.
I have points. I have the tri nib. I got the wedge, and I got the ball. I got all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And earlier in your career,
And then you get into these.
right.
These are pen. They're not pens. They're marker pens. And you can see over here, I've got all the different colors.
Neil, have you ever worked with any other medium
Pen and ink.
besides markers?
I started with pen and ink.
Okay.
Okay.
Crosshatch.
So when I look around in the gallery and I go into the back room, I see a lot of black and whites. Is
Yeah.
that the pen and
Same
ink that
thing.
you
No, that's
started,
this.
or is that
That's the marker.
markers?
Those are all markers. You'll see in the back room behind the new series of the Cities of the World, you'll see the ethnic series.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see in the ethnic series what I used to do, which was pen and ink. I'll show you the pen and ink drawings.
And as you pull that up, Neil, let me ask you, in terms of the pen and ink, was that an easier transition when you started using these type of markers since so much of it is hand-drawn illustration?
There's a story behind the pen and ink.
Okay.
See the pen and ink?
That's lovely. That's
That's
absolutely
marker.
lovely.
That's pen and ink.
How long did it
100
take?
hours.
100
100 hours.
And it looks it.
Now, here's what happened. I was doing pen and ink. Remember the a pantograph? Pantograph was a wooden or metal accordion-like structure with it had a metal point on one side and a pencil on the other. So you would use the metal point the same time. You could make it 2 times size, 3 times. It's called a pantograph. I used the pantograph years ago. Then they came out with the Lucy camera. They don't make those anymore. The company's out of business. I have somebody that'll make me one of those if that ever ends.
I was going to say, so they're not making those anymore. If that breaks down, are you able
I
to
have
restore it
I
or
have
get
a
it fixed?
Artograph DB400, which is the one I used to have over the drawing board. Remember that unit?
I do remember
It's in
that
the back.
unit.
I don't use it anymore.
You're always learning and you're always refining your
If you
skill
don't
set.
learn something new every day, give it up.
Okay.
I
That,
agree
and
with
that
that.
and that leads to my next question. Like, was there a certain time, obviously you're still learning stuff, but was there a certain time where you kind of figured out the formula, whether it be workflow, time
Oh,
management?
absolutely. I can crank out those portrait caricatures in an hour and a half.
Wow. And compared to when you started, what was
3-4 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Because I'm inking while I'm enlarging. Now, somebody
Right.
said you weren't here earlier. All you're doing is tracing it. I said, all right, fine. I'll pencil it up. You finish it. Ability you're born with. You learn technique. You enhance technique with repetition. You do it again, do it again, do it again. Now, my background, you don't know, but I played pro baseball for 2 years. I was a baseball player. So the sports is a big part of my life. I grew up as an athlete. The wheels went, my knees went, the legs went. I coached 15 years at the college level.
You know the grind.
I know the grind. But it's no different than I used to tell my players. It's the same thing. I can't teach you to throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. I can teach you how to change speeds.
Right.
Sharpening the tools.
So,
Technique.
one question I always like to end an interview with, for someone who, like you, 50 years ago,
Yep.
starting off, and he or she is an artist, and they're just going about and working their passion through whatever medium, whether it be markers or paint, whatever, and they want to pursue this. Do you have any inspirational words for that young person sitting at a desk similar to this in their room, their mom or dad's house? What would you say to them?
Share, and share it. Let people see what your passion is. If you don't have that word, no matter what you do in life, if you don't have passion for what you do something else.
Well said.
Very well
You know,
said.
Absolutely.
This is I'm here. People say to me, when you at the gallery, I'm here every day.
And that was what just kind of lead me to kind
I
of
look
final.
forward to coming every day. I got something new to do.
It's not work
The
to you.
best line was somebody said, what's the best piece you ever did? And I answer it the same way every time. The next one.
And that's what I was going to ask you to kind of wrap things up. As you move on to the next one, have you ever kind of looked ahead while you're working on something currently and thought, I'll back pocket that and get back to it? Is it something you conceive while at home in a comfort zone? Does it just kind of come up organically?
If you had my eyes for 10 minutes, you wouldn't believe what I see.
Incredible.
If I had musicians' ears for 10 minutes, I wouldn't believe what they hear. Now, I love to sing. I can't sing. I sing in the shower and
I'm
the
very
water
grateful
turns
that you
off.
don't. I've heard you know.
I mean,
That's why those who
This
are
is
being
why we have a
Portnoyed.
musician.
That's why those who are being
Right.
Portnoyed
That's
sing.
right. That's the entertainment in here. But over here, so this is your talent. This is your entertainment.
yeah, well, listen, I have a lot of skills. People said I should do stand up. I said, why should I stand up? I sit down. I'm the co-host.
So if you don't know Neil, one thing you should know is he's also very comedic,
Yeah,
and he
I-
at least tells me 2 jokes every time that I come here.
I
So
always have jokes.
you can
I
look
always have
forward to
jokes.
that.
We got him on GoLive Vegas right when he sat down earlier. And again, media savvy. It's like to co-host talk shows, podcasts. You have experience doing that. It seems like everything kind of always goes back into your art, but your art always goes into other things that you do as well.
Listen, I'm not only the co-host of Vegas Live Entertainment Radio. I'm the co-host of Renee Hale's Las Vegas Legends at Red Rock.
Ron Garrett show.
Ron Garrett show, the GoLive Vegas.
GoLive Vegas, yep.
But I do sleight of hand. It's my personality. I'm an entertainer who happens to be able to draw.
I understand.
This is what I do. You know what? I think nothing of it when Dorothy and I are out and about. If I see little kids at a table out at dinner, I go draw with them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, right behind Aaron, on that wall, you'll see the little amateur drawings. That's my kids' wall right there. When kids come to the gallery, I sit them down with me. We draw together.
So that okay.
But I say to them, can I hang it on my kids' wall? But only under one condition.
What is that?
You need to go back to all your friends and tell them your artwork is hanging in a gallery in Las Vegas.
I love that.
And
I love
the kids
that.
lighting right up. It's all about the kids.
Wow.
I'm on the back nine. I'm old already. You know what? I've left. Peter Fan, a incredible musician. He plays the tuba, the mandolin, the guitar, the bass. Came up with a great line. He said, what Neil Portnoy is doing at this period of time in Vegas is documenting the entertainment community, that when we're all gone, that'll all remain.
You're curating culture in many
And
ways.
the legacy and creating a legacy. You're creating a legacy not only for yourself and for Dorothy, but for all of those who have participated
Yes.
in the entertainment world here in Vegas by creating these works of art of them. And that's pretty special and something to be proud of.
Clint Holmes, we all love Clint,
Yes.
was on a radio show, and he's talking because we took him to. I'm a season's ticket holder for the Aviators, so we took him to the ball game. We're sitting there, and I said, "Watch, he's going to throw a slider, cut slider down and away, and it's going to be in the dirt. He's going to swing. Next pitch, cut slider down away in the dirt, and he looks at me and goes, "How the hell did you know that?"
Trained eye.
Trained eye. I did that for a living.
Now that's up your alley.
Absolutely.
The whole sports thing is
No,
way up.
And
Brett's
that's actually
alley.
where I first met Neil. Me and Neil have been on air talking
I
shop,
see.
and I found
Oh.
out more about his baseball career before the art, interestingly enough. But that's what's so cool, because now I see it's a full circle thing. It's another side of
Many
you,
facets.
and it may be your profession,
Life
but
is-
all things play into it.
Life is a tree. What do you have at the bottom of the tree? You have the tree trunk. If you climb, you get on a branch. All of a sudden, that branch has 2 or 3 branches you never knew existed. You're still climbing up, but you're going in a different direction.
And you give a lot of wisdom there. As we wrap up, I have to ask you one final question here, because you mentioned what's so important as far as a young artist in terms of the intangibles, the passion. What's the first step that you'd recommend they take if they figure out they have a knack and they realize they have the passion?
Copy. It's the best form of flattery. Flattery. Copy.
Go off your influences.
And always, when you work, don't be afraid to work upside down.
Oh, take a
Because
new perspective on
everything
something.
geometrically,
Sure.
our eyes are separated by the size of another eye. Your nose, the bottom goes right to your ears. I mean,
Right.
you get the zygomatic arch, which comes down. There are certain basics. If you're looking at a portrait you did, John Singer Sargent, the most famous of all American portrait artists, said, "It's a perfect portrait, but there's something wrong with the mouth." Turn it upside down, you'll see a 32nd of an inch. The mouth has got to go over because it's
Neil,
not underneath. It makes a world of difference.
We could sit here and get educated
Absolutely.
on what you do and how
Mind-blowing.
you do it for hours. It is
Show
such
me
a
for
treat.
2 minutes,
Yeah.
you'll be
No,
surprised.
I'll be on the floor in
Yeah.
5 minutes. I'll be on the floor in 5 minutes. It is such a treat. It is such an honor to sit here and you walk us through your process and show us exactly why it is that myself included really never ever would like you to get rid of this desk, because it has created
almost got rid of the
so
desk,
I
yeah.
know you
Yep.
did. I
There's-
know. And I rallied for this desk.
It has
I
it has heart, it has character,
It
and it tells the
does.
story,
It
because this is where
does.
he
Yeah.
tells so many of his stories.
Yeah.
And that's what's so cool. We heard earlier from Dorothy about how the Wham event, the inner workings behind the scenes goes down, but this is behind the scenes can
This
get.
is where the magic
We
happens.
literally
So
see
we were
where
talking-
all is
she's
created.
an artist. We were talking earlier. She's a painter. Now, I'm also a commissioner in the Las Vegas Arts Council.
Yes, you are.
I'm named by the
Yes.
mayor, right? The Las Vegas Arts Commission is solely into murals on sides of walls and sculpture on city streets. I'm trying to get them to understand that that eliminates someone like myself, not me, but someone like me or me. Because once my work is done, all you need is a high resolution scan. What do you want to print it on? What size do you want to print it? So you can do these large murals on sides of buildings that aren't permanent, unless you do a wall wrap, unless you do something framed and you attach it to the building. You can always move it to a new location. So that's an educating process for them because they're old school. They have no idea what's about to hit them for this upcoming year with me. I'm going to educate them that there are other ways that we have to open up the Arts Council to creatives. I don't call myself an illustrator. I don't call somebody a guitar player. I don't call a vocalist a vocalist.
What do you call them?
We're creatives. We work in different genres.
It's ultimately what we do, even in many ways, on
It
the media
is. I
side.
mean, it
Yeah,
is.
you're entertaining, you're burning on a show, but you're
That's
also
right.
creating something.
That's right.
You wouldn't believe what I see. Try these. They're unbelievable. I'm kidding.
You know I will.
You
You know I will.
It's been a blast, Neil. We could do
Yes.
this all night long. We still have some other stuff to show you throughout the gallery, so we're going to take a quick break. Huge shout out to Neil. Huge shout out to Dorothy. And, of course, we'll address the honorees tonight of being Portnoy. So stick around. Plenty more coverage here from the Wham event at the Portnoy Gallery right here on GoLive Vegas.
Thank you.
There you go.